there's some artists right now that are very big that you met through the scene in West Virginia. Mm-hmm. So one's John R. Miller, and y'all had Prison Book Club.
Yeah.
And Tyler Childers falls into that scene as well. How did that occur?
Yeah, so he's from like Eastern Kentucky, and Ian Thornton, who's like a guy in Huntington who like he booked at this bar, and then early on in Tyler's thing, like Ian kind of like took him under his wing and like wanted to help him as much as possible, and Ian was booking our bands at this place called Shamrocks, and then we also played a place called the V Club, both in Huntington, and like some of Tyler's earliest shows outside of Kentucky, I believe, were in that situation with like at the V Club and at Shamrocks. And you know, there's posters of us playing with him with Prison Book Club and the Demon Beat, and you know, Ian had a festival called Huntington Music and Arts Fest. Tyler, some early performances there, and then later on, a few years later, I played with him for, man, not a super long time, maybe 9 months or something. And it was before he was like touring a bunch, but you know, we played some shows around Kentucky and some stuff in the Eastern Panhandle, and yeah, so you know, and we made some recordings, and yeah, so it was, you know, we were around each other a fair amount, and I met all those guys in his band. The core of his band, they were in a band from Huntington called Deadbeats and Barkers, and we had like done shows with them. So it was just kind of this cross-pollination of all those things kind of happening at the same time. I think he was a fan of Prison Book Club, I think, at some point. Maybe still is.
I think he is for sure, based on the stuff he's been putting, you know, John on. It seems like he really elevated John after he blew up, which is so admirable.
Yeah, man. He
because y'all played Red Rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, talk about that experience.
Yeah, he had us open. He was like really, really good about just getting people on those shows that like he really is a fan of, or like, yeah, homies with, and just trying to lift up other people around him. And so we opened a show, and Margot Price was the middle, and so it was bizarre for me personally because it's Red Rocks, which is so special, but getting to do it with John, who I have such a history with, and then, you know, I know Margot a little bit and know everybody that was in her band at that point. So it was like everybody on the stage.
There was an East Nashville hang going on.
Yeah, and like this West Virginia contingent, a bunch of friends from West Virginia had flown out to see it. So it was just this wild, like, you know, I'm sure you've had moments like this where it's like, man, because there's the thing itself. There's playing at Red Rocks, which is beautiful.
Yep.
I feel very lucky to have been able to do that. But there's this other thing of like all these things that are this confluence of like things in your life from different times in your life culminating at this special thing. And it's like, dude, this is trippy. This is like a beautiful night, and I want to take this in because it's not just the thing, it's the fact that it's these people.
Yeah.
You know, and the older I get, the more I see like, man, so much of your life is just time and people. And when those things, like when those special moments come together, or, you know, think about how many people I work with or know because of the scene I kind of grew up in, it's staggering, man. They're still around. I still see Ian, you know, we got lunch the other day, you know, we're going to do a Rousel Kid show next week. You know, that's
awesome.
It's in my life. We made a record with John that's coming out soon. We did it at Church Studios.
Oh,
in
cool.
Tulsa.
Yeah.
It's like,